talking to a girlfriend at dinner last night, and out of nowhere, I just looked at her and I was like, I want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. I don't remember the last time I said those words or felt that way, but I'm putting it out there. Let's talk about it. I think sometimes we as women feel ashamed to say that for some weird reason. I'm not really sure why that should carry any type of shame to like want companionship and love. It's not coming from like a needy or a desperate place. It's a very normal, healthy place to say, yeah, I want companionship. I want to be in love. I want all of the good things that come with a relationship, and I'm ready to take on the difficult things as well. And let's be honest, anything that I've ever wanted in life, literally anything, I have spoken into existence. When I was looking for a job last fall, I literally got on here and was like, I'm looking for a job. And I said it early and often. I told everyone that I was talking to that I was looking for a job. I actually haven't felt like I wanted a boyfriend for years. Maybe I thought that I did, but I still had unfinished business and things that I needed to heal. And as y'all know, I was like in a relationship for a number of years, and that's what, a year out? A year out since we officially ended, less since we technically ended, I guess, you know what I mean? When you have someone else in the picture, no matter how close or far they are, it's just really, really hard to be open to something else. And I feel like I am finally in a spot where I can legitimately be ready for something else. So yeah, I'm just saying it. I'm ready for something real, something peaceful, a true partnership. I believe it's out there. And if that's what you want to, then that's okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to want for things in your life. That's it. That's the post. Just me out here manifesting with my wet hair.
How do you get a man back? Oh my god. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
I guess I'm better now. I don't know. I've been okay. How are you?
I'm good. I was just thinking about, thinking about everything. Just feeling pretty good. Want to see what you have going on this upcoming weekend, maybe.
For
just getting together for talk about
yeah.
work
Yeah, I might be able to have some. I'd have to, but I can probably. What are you thinking?
Okay, so if you were maybe to, I don't know, you can come over. We can go over and some other stuff that I put aside. But obviously keeping it professional as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
When do you need a response by?
Sooner than later, but no pressure. I can make it for work. I can try and make it so it's kind of like a lunch. But we can stay and if we need.
Are you putting it?
Yeah.
Wow.
We are professionals, and we're keeping it professional. Everything is above the boards here. So, I mean,
It is. It's all very professional here.
It doesn't sound very professional to me.
Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
It's your husband? Who the is this guy?
Wait. What?
Terry?
Why are you meeting up with him, and what is all this giggling and...
Frank, let me talk for a second.
Flirting. You guys suck at flirting, by the way, but...
Terry.
What is going on?
Terry, this is the Mojo in the Morning Show, and your husband, Frank, called us up to see what was going on between you and a coworker. And he thinks that you guys have something happening with each other, and obviously it seems like there is something going on with you guys. Terry, is there something going on? Terry?
Hello? She's not going to say anything.
I don't think she's on the phone line. I think she got
She hung
disconnected.
up.
I think she hung up the phone, and I think that
She knows she's caught. Unreal, dude.
and I know that he hung up well into you just jumping on and starting to talk. Why did you
Yeah, I'm sure he was-
why did you suspect that was the guy that she was talking about or having some kind of a thing with?
I don't know. I don't know. Just based on all the guys that she works with,
Does she talk about him a lot at home? Does she bring him up a lot?
I mean, she's mentioned his name, but she's never said anything before that would make me think that, she liked him or anything. But I just started paying attention to all the guys that she worked with, the guys that she interacted with most often.
Mm-hmm.
And he just seemed to be, a lot of the other guys are like really old or, not her type or whatever. So I just assumed by the way she was describing him and talking about him, I was like, oh, this is probably the guy.
We're trying to see if we can call her and him back up. Was what they were doing flirting? I want to get into that as a quick discussion and find out what you guys think. Or was that them just talking about something and we were all just thinking that there was more flirting going on?
They were definitely flirting. I mean, not very well.
Who is this? Your husband. Dang. Got him. Y'all be out here playing around, getting caught in 4K. But they keep telling me that women are better at cheating than men.
And then he fucking ghosted me this morning. Who the does that? I'm done. I'm done dating. I decided I'm going to be a total who. Because men can do that. I'm going to do that. I don't want no commitment. I'm just going to do my thing. And I'm done dating. Like, I don't need that in my life at all. It's so hard to find genuine men. I have been in this dating world since, July, whatever. I haven't found one person that is a suitable candidate because they're all assholes. What? Like, it's just nuts. I'm fucking 51 years old and I'm about to stop my era. I don't care what anybody says. Can't get pregnant, which is great. But I'm going to do that. I really decided I don't want to date nobody. I don't want to catch feelings. And I'm like a dude, right?
Yo, let me tell y'all how I just got stood up. Like, by the time I got, all right. So, I call this boy. I'm like, yo, like, you want to go to Copa's module? If you're from Philly, you know about Copa's down 40th Street, right? Copa's drinks is good, food is good. All right. So, if you know about Copa's, yeah, that's the spot. Like, they got the good drinks. So I called this boy. I'm like, yo, you want to go to Copa's? He like, yeah, let's go to Copa's. So I'm like, all right, I'm on my way down there. I took an Uber down there because he was like not far from there anyway. So I'm like, all right, I'm just take an Uber down there. So he gets there before me. And I walk in. He was only literally waiting for me for probably like 5-10 minutes. He was probably waiting for me for like 5-10 minutes. I know he was. So I sit down next to him, and I'm like, I sit down across from him, like at the same table. So I'm like, hey, Bookie, woo woo. Mind you, I know this boy. Like, we hung out numerous times. You feel me? Like, he done came to the strip club where I work at and all of that. So I'm like, hey, Bookie, woo woo. So he like, hey, what's going on? And he chilling or whatnot. So he says to me, I gotta go move my car. He like, damn, I gotta go move my car because I parked my car somewhere that I wasn't supposed to park my car. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Y'all, the never came back. I didn't order my drink, ordered my buffalo shrimp, ate that, drunk my drink, And mind you, my waiter looking at me like, where he go? Like, where he at? I'm like, I don't know. So he really like, okay, so then boom. Once my waiter was like, where he go? I call him. He like, oh yeah, I had to go park my car somewhere else. I was just talking on the phone real quick. I said, okay. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking he about to, he gonna come back in. He like, I'm about to come back in there. Y'all, he never came back. That's so embarrassing. Like, mind you, y'all, I'm a Capricorn. We do not like being embarrassed. Like, we think embarrassment is like the worst shit. Like, that's so embarrassing. I do not like telling embarrassing stories about myself. But I just had dating in Philadelphia is so terrible. Like, y'all are disgusting. Like, y'all are pitiful. Y'all are disgusting. Like, it's not even funny. Y'all are pitiful. Like, leaving out and not coming back. Like, that's real, like, so I ain't gonna never find my husband in this city. That's crazy.
I don't know what it sounds like to y'all, but what it sounds like to me is maybe this is not really actually dating. Maybe he felt like you were wanting to hang out so you could get him to pay for a lot of that stuff, and he maybe caught that vibe from you and he didn't want to do that.
I canceled our date as he was coming because of what he said. He suggested a restaurant I didn't like. It wasn't bad, but it's not a first date restaurant. For me, the first date is supposed to be really good because I don't know your potential yet. I don't know if you're good enough yet. I have to have a really good time. And then if I like it and then I like you, then I'll see. So I sent him another restaurant and I told him, how about this one instead? And then he was like, no. He was like, this is a third date, maybe occasion restaurant. It's not a first date thing. Do I look like a small budget, casual first date girl? Like, how confused are you? Like, everything about me, my profile, whatever, everything you can see. You can tell nobody makes that mistake. You slide in my DM. You do it because you know I am insanely evil. Evil, as in like, I'm not somebody who like, you want something normal and humble and modest with. There's girls who want very just like a man and they just want to settle down with any man, whatever. I'm definitely not given this. So for him, when he said, I was like, what the I never heard of that. What do you mean this is not a first date? What do you mean by that? Like, I am the occasion. I am the biggest occasion you'll ever see in your life. What do you mean this is not a first date occasion, maybe a third date occasion thing or something special? I am the special. Like, that for me, like, it fumbled my mind. Like, I never even, like, what? How confused are you? Like, I had no words. I still have no words. Then he suggested a better restaurant than the ones he sent originally, but not the one I sent. Like, mine was even better than the one, but like, it was an upgrade still. So I was like, why not the one I sent? Because now I'm supposed to compromise, do something less than what I wanted. Why? I literally have no reason. I have no reason to compromise. It makes no sense. I don't want this. I don't want anything. I want to be like impressed. Give me a reason to leave my house and see you. Somebody who compromises is somebody who wants something they usually can't get. But I can get a billion times and I have been. So for you to suggest that, it makes no sense. Why in your right mind would you think I would want to compromise? So I canceled the date. Actually, this is the third time I canceled on him on the first date. First time he said, I don't know, like he says things that are weird like that. Always within like 2 hours of like the date. Then the second time he did it again. So we had like a FaceTime instead because it was like, oh, it's just the text. It makes me look different. I'm better in person or on FaceTime. So we FaceTime. He okay, but like, I know what he's trying to say. Like, no, you're not different. You are cheap and you have no experience with a baddie. If you are used to like a certain standard and you want a certain standard and that's your goal in life, that standard, you have no reason to get less. But if you have another goal, obviously, like you want a husband and a family and you want like a normal life type thing and you're used to it and you feel comfortable with it, obviously go for that. You don't need a 5-star restaurant. You don't need all of whatever, you know? You can have something normal and that's fine and that's normal. You have a different goal. But I don't have that goal, so it makes no sense for me to compromise for something I don't want. Pick your own league. The guys, don't pick somebody way over your league. And the girls, if you know that you are better than that, you have no reason to compromise. Why waste your time? You know you don't want this.
So what's happening here is she's met her match. That's why she continues to take calls with this guy. You're trying to get something out of him, but he's on the same level that she is. And so he's saying, no, you're not going to play those games with me that you do those other guys, making them spend money. We're not going to do that. Yeah, sis, take that pride and that ego down a couple notches.
Oh my God, this bitch made me crash out. Okay, mind you, I woke up not too long ago, okay? I wake up to a text message from one of my friends, and she's like, Christine, I've been talking to this one guy, and we've been talking for a while now, but I didn't want to tell you until, like, things were going great. And I'm like, okay, T, like, what is he like? And she starts listing off very, like, vain qualities, like, surface-level qualities about him, like, he's good-looking, he does this and this and this, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but, like, how does he treat you, right? And she was like, well, everything's going great, except for the fact that, like, whenever we have, like, home-cooked dinner dates, like, he always makes me cook, doesn't really help me out, and then I'm always the one to clean up after. Whenever he calls me because he wants food, I have to, like, pick it up, and, like, I pay for it, he doesn't pay me back, and then whenever we get into, like, arguments, they, like, escalate a lot, and then he, like, yells at me, always tells me it's my fault, screams at me, and then whenever we go to, like, social functions together, he talks to other women but me. So I'm like, okay, what is it that you like about him? Because so far from what I'm hearing, right, it doesn't seem like that great of a person. Like, why is he doing all this? And I was like, so tell me, like, what do you like about him? And she goes like, well, he sends me a good morning text every day. And I'm over here like, wait, are you being serious? Like, that's what you like about him? That he's good looking and he sends you a good morning text every single day? And she's like, yeah, because, like, I mean, like, other guys that I've talked to, like, don't really ever send me good morning. Be so for real right now. Do not piss me off. What happened to never settling for the bare minimum? You know what she even told me to? She was like, oh, I think I'm ready to settle with him. This man doesn't even treat you well, and you're saying you're ready to settle with him because he's good looking and he sends you a good morning text? Literally, get the f*** out of my face.
And guess who's going to have to deal with that? The good guy. Within a year, she'll have a child and she'll be a single mother, mad at men for what they do to her. And like I said, the nice guy is going to have to deal with that.
Men have been told not to rape women since the beginning of time, and they still do that. Ladies, oh my God, they're so stupid. Listen, if a man wants you, he will tear the earth apart to have you. In a respectful manner, of course. I'm not talking about whatever the this guy is talking. In society where men have been told explicitly and implicitly to never approach women. I've never heard that in my life. Why would a society ever say that? Why the f*** would we live in a society if we can't approach one another? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Sorry, I mean, no offense. Nothing personal to you. It's just this comment that really is very dumb.
Y'all gonna keep on saying whatever y'all want to say, but y'all didn't talk yourselves out of getting what you actually want. It's not gonna change. Men have adapted to that, and they leaving you alone. What he said was correct. If you want a man to approach, you need to show that you're approachable. There's nothing hard to understand about that.
Women
Praise
have
God.
a hard time taking responsibility. We have a hard time being shown ourselves. And I've come to realize that women are very, very prideful. Like, men have egos, but women are very prideful.
I'm
And the
just saying
reason
that.
why we have a hard time being shown who we are is because the opposite of pride is shame. And we don't want to feel that shame because it is very painful.
Wow.
But let me tell you something. You have nothing to be shameful about simply because you're imperfect. We are all imperfect. One of the best gifts you can give your husband is when he says, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I see in you. This is where you can improve. This is the adjustments I think that you can make, is to sit back and think about it and then say, you know what, babe, I can see where I could do better in that area. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way, right? Eat it, because that's going to give you the relationship you're actually fighting for.
Let's talk about dating in your 30s. For those of you who don't know, I was married at 22, divorced at 27, and I have a little 3-year-old son. Dating in your early 20s is great. Everyone's broke, don't really have a ton of life responsibilities yet, and a lot more people are single. Fast forward to your 30s, the pool is a lot smaller, especially once you have a kid. There's a lot more life responsibilities, but you do have a little more money than you did in your early 20s. The biggest difference I have seen, people have learned how to get their needs emotionally met without any commitment. Meaning there's so many blurred lines of guy friends, girlfriend. They all mutually hang out and meet each other's needs, maybe not physically, maybe physically, where they don't feel this need for deep commitment and connection. I watch guys all the time hit up girls, ask to hang out, do fun things, hang out one-on-one, take them to special experiences, do kind gestures, and not just out of like brotherly love, out of a little something more, and maybe even have a little flirty wave with it. This boils my blood. I've watched so many guys treat so many amazing girls with just this brotherly love without a deep need for connection. For me, I don't need a guy best friend. I don't want a guy best friend. I want my guy best friend to be my future spouse, not an everyday type of thing. I want a guy to treat me more than how he treats all of his other friends, specifically all his other girlfriends. Not even saying if he wanted to, he would type of vibe, because I think any type of relationship deserves sacrifice and service on either side. Saying, I want to at least feel pursued on the fact that there's intentionality behind exclusivity with each other. Granted, I'm very confrontational, and I'm also very clear in my expectations of what I want and what I desire. Also, I'm a very different situation where I do have a child and I do have an ex-husband that I have to see multiple times. So I know the guy for me is someone who's really strong and secure in who they are and have full faith and belief in who I am, knowing that we can create a beautiful blended family. I know that's a lot to ask, but I also know it's not a lot to ask me out on a simple date. I mean, like, come on, like, get to know me. Now, that being said, any guys in Southern California that love Jesus, want to be a daddy, and want to date this baddie, which I'm really not. I'm just like this entrepreneur girl who like loves the Lord and just hangs out at the beach with my family and does Pilates and loves coffee. Where are you? I would love to meet you, and let's go out. Or sisters, hook me up with your brothers.
Well, Jamie Easton 7. That's Jamie Easton EASTONN 7 on TikTok. If you guys are interested, I think I probably know the answer for a lot of the fellas in here, but you never know.
You saying that you're still on her side means you missed the entire point of my video. So I'm gonna slow it down a little bit on this video. If you are a woman or a man and you support somebody who's 18 going into S3X work and starting an OF page and doing adult spicy content, you say that she has the mental capacity, the mental maturity, and at 18 years old, she is old enough to make those type of decisions, to understand the repercussions of those decisions. But on that exact same hand, but you flip it over, you say that she can't sleep with somebody older than her, not date, not marry, simply utilizing the services that she is currently providing, and she's not mentally mature enough. All I'm saying is that do not add up. It doesn't make any sense. I saw a comment saying, well, she gonna be mentally manipulated. She's literally doing what you females are empowering her to do. It's empowering to sell your body. So do you agree that a female at that age has the mental maturity for all that stuff, or does she not? Because you can't say she's grown enough to provide a service and then immediately, and I do mean immediately, flip it around saying she's being taken advantage of for that exact same service she's providing because she's not mentally mature enough. It makes no sense. Y'all walking in circles. What I'm saying isn't about sides. Both are wrong, but you can't say one is and one isn't.
So I actually like this comment by I Am Legend 2524, and it says, I'm not taking sides, but if one of the two should know better, it's Shannon Sharp. A 56-year-old man should know not to put himself in this type of situation. And I tend to agree. I don't think that he did anything wrong. There was a transaction there, but this is what looking after yourself, looking out for number one looks like. Because these modern women are going to act silly. They're going to try to take you for all your word. You think about Anthony Edwards and the woman that was like, oh man, no, I'm going to keep the baby. You're going to pay child support for 18 years. And he's trying to get out of all of that, you know, trying to pay a lump sum of child support. This is what these modern women do. So while you weren't wrong, understand that there are serpents out there slithering all around your feet, looking to figure out which ankle to inject poison into.
All right, so this woman said, no man that isn't a creep ever stresses this much about how not to be a creep with women, and that is super wrong. Nearly every man has accidentally creeped a woman out. That doesn't mean that nearly every man is a bad guy, it just means that it's easy to creep women out. Remember, creepiness is ambiguity of threat. Not confirmed threat that makes us scream and up and run away. Ambiguity of threat when we're not sure yet if this is a threat or not. And because men tend to be bigger and stronger than us, and generally want something from women, and we don't know what boundaries they're willing to cross to get it, it's really easy for them to not be doing anything evil or bad or wrong and still accidentally creep us out just because they didn't confirm that they weren't a threat. My cousin tells this really funny story of a time that he was on the subway. My cousin is a gentle giant art student that wouldn't hurt a fly, but he's like 6'4", super hairy, dresses like he's homeless, and looks like he's unalived 6 to 12 people. And he told me the story of this time that he was on the bus late at night and he like looked up and was like looking at this like cool thing on this girl's shirt, and then all of a sudden she looks at him and he realizes, oh crap, I've been looking at her for too long, like I'm probably freaking her out. And he's like, so I just start looking down, like hopefully I didn't freak her out. And he goes past a few stops and a bunch of people get off and there's less and less people in this car. And he's like, let me look over and see if that girl's still there because I don't want to freak her out. And of course, she sees him looking at her and looks a little nervous. And he's like, oh my God, I'm freaking this poor girl out. I'm not trying to though. He's like, we keep going to the end of the line. And he's like, finally, my stop is here and I'm so thankful. And this girl gets off and he has to get off the bus after her. And he's like, oh my God, she's gonna think I'm following her, but I need to go home. And he's like, she keeps looking back at me now. And he's like, I have to get off the bus. And he's like, okay, so I'm walking behind her and I'm trying to like give her some space. And she turns left and he's like, I have to turn left too. He's like, she keeps looking back to see if I'm behind her. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not trying to follow you. I just need to get home. He's watching her and he's like, please don't turn right. Please don't turn right. And she turns right. And of course he's gotta keep following her. He's like, I can tell she's freaked out. Like she is very afraid that I'm going to kill her. He's like, maybe I should cross the street, but there's no street lights over there and I don't want her to be freaked out by that. And then he's like, I know, I'm gonna pass her. If I just pass her and get in front of her, then she won't be freaked out anymore. So he picks up his pace and starts walking faster. And then he's like, she starts walking faster because she's afraid. He's like, in his mind, he's like, please slow down, I'm trying to pass you. So he's like, I'm just gonna like go into a quick little jog. He's like, and then she starts running. And he's like, oh my God, I hate myself, please stop. He's like, finally she turns down a different street. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, Nate, you should have just like stood on your phone for a minute and like let her go. He's like, I didn't know what to do. Nobody trains you for this. I panicked. A lot of men are trying so hard and have no idea what they're doing. And for all the men who are like, see, it's so hard to be a man, I guarantee you that girl was way more panicked than he was. He was worried about accidentally making someone feel fear when they didn't need to. She was worried about getting home alive. It's good for women to know that most men are really trying to be good and just don't really know what they're doing, and so they panic and worry about this stuff. Also, men don't expect us to cry rivers for you when we're just as worried, except way more worried about every little thing that we're doing in our bodies, and our stakes are exponentially higher. It's good to have compassion for men because compassion's a good thing. But also, men, understand the intense amount of emotional labor you're asking women to do when you've got a headache and we've got cancer. Yes, what you're going through is hard, but it's not really comparable.
And this is a lot of the reason why men don't approach. Instead of going through all of this, thinking all of that, I'd rather not approach. I'd rather not be around you. I'd rather just stay at my house and not worry about all that other stuff. You have to understand why you saying it's hard for you. Some of these modern women will get online and try to expose this man, even though he was doing or trying to be helpful or trying not to look like a creep, like you just said. And then once again, somebody in the comments said, all depends on if you're attractive. Very true in a lot of cases.
When I see TikToks and it's people being like, date people who aren't your type, like give someone a chance even if like physically they're not your type, even though usually like brunettes, whatever, blah, 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 like, and then they go on to see like, oh, like my boyfriend wasn't physically my type when I met him and I gave him a chance and now like he's the best person ever, blah, 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 blah. Good message. I get the message. I'm hearing it. If I had a boyfriend and he goes on the internet and he says, yeah, my girlfriend wasn't like physically my type, but I gave her a shot and now she's like wonderful. Oh, so you thought I was ugly. You thought I was butt ugly. You thought I was just like the grossest. Perfect. And it's like, I know you can argue of like, oh no, like it's just like physically like they used to go for blondes, blah, 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 blah. No. Again, good message. Like, don't put yourself into a box of the type of people you'll date, especially based off of just like physical things, but like to then come on the internet and say, yeah, they were not my type. Oh no, they're not my type, but I gave them a chance.
You know, maybe there's a lesson in that. If you want a good, nice, successful relationship, at some point in time, you got to start vetting these men for their character instead of just saying that all men are bad.
Fellas, y'all gonna let me have a real conversation with y'all or y'all gonna get in y'all feelings about what I'm about to say? Let me know.
Not at all. Let's have a logical conversation and see how this goes.
Real quick. I'm about to say it anyway, so it don't even matter. Y'all gotta start dating within y'all tax bracket. And I'm not even talking about the gold diggers or the women that only wants men for money. I'm talking about the women that got their own bread. I'm talking about the woman that's out here doing it. I'm talking about the women that's buying themselves all types of gifts, that's taking themselves on all types of vacations.
So let's give some context to this video. Let's say this woman makes $100,000 per year. Let's say if that's the tax bracket she's in. But let's keep going.
If you cannot support that lifestyle, that is likely not the woman for you. Stop pursuing women who live a life that you cannot maintain.
So to sum up her argument, she's saying that as the man, if you make less money than the woman you're pursuing, you should not pursue her because you cannot afford to pay for her lifestyle. But when you hear that, the most logical question anyone would ask is this. If you're already able to afford your lifestyle, why do you expect the man to then come in and pay for your lifestyle? And here's the thing. If the men in the lower tax brackets are the one asking you that question, you don't have to answer it. But you know who you need to answer it to? The ones that are in the same tax bracket as you. And no matter what answer you give those men, it would never be good enough. And I'll tell you exactly why. Due to the fact that y'all are in the same tax bracket, anything you tell him that you can provide to him, he can find in someone else that makes less money than you. And if he can find it in someone else that makes less money than you, that means it's less of a financial burden on him. Because dating you, being that y'all are in the same tax bracket, your money does not benefit him. So that woman needs to be okay with being single for a long time.
I think I figured it out. Ways to prevent a man from cheating. It's really just simple. It's really, really, really simple. 1, put out. Put out. If you don't want your man looking for it elsewhere, then give it to him. Give it to him. There's a fine line of feeling obligated to the point of you're in a relationship, being intimate with your partner is a part of that. So 1, if you don't want him looking elsewhere, put out. Number 2, it's okay to cook him a meal. I do think some of those traditional behaviors are very relevant. You could try to cook together, but I would say make your man a meal. Maybe clean up from time to time. Do some laundry. I mean, if you don't live with him, you know how cool it would be to come home as a guy and your house is fully cleaned? Like, think how wonderful that would be. You'd really win one over by doing that. And then give him some peace and quiet. He doesn't want to hear about your nagging or what Susie Q's doing at work or what the Kardashians got going on. Give him some peace and quiet. You don't need to be his mom. That'll keep your man from cheating, or at least prevent him.
Men absolutely have more options than women when it comes to dating. So I saw a TikTok on here from another creator talking about how there are plenty of beautiful women everywhere, but coming across a very handsome man is really rare. And I could not agree any more with that creator. I come across beautiful women every single day.
There's so many flaws in this video, but let's start off with number one. When I made a video recently where I talk about how I think girls are a little bit more misogynistic than most men and they don't even realize it. And this was another good example. Because our whole basis for this video is that the reason why men have more options, even though I disagree with this point, let's just pretend that it's true, is that women are more attractive than men. You're basically implying the sole thing that makes the other side have more options is who's the more attractive one. Basically, putting the person's beauty at the forefront of what is most important in a relationship. Besides the fact where I've already made this video where a lot of women have made videos saying that they see so many more attractive women than they do men. And the reality is it's not that you're seeing so many more attractive women than you are men. It's that you have a bias because number one, you're a woman. And most of the time you guys are not factoring in that a lot of the women that you think are so gorgeous compared to the average man are wearing a lot of things to enhance their appearance. The reality is even if I gave her that point where more women are more attractive than most men, the truth is that there's a reason for that. My personal opinion, and I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, a lot of women feel this sense that they have to work on their appearance because they know a lot of their value is deemed on how attractive that they are. Girls get treated a lot differently than men for being unattractive. An unattractive man can get away with doing a lot more things than a woman can. On the flip side of that, a lot more men seem to be insecure about their financial status, how much money they make, how successful they are in their career. So we can easily do the same thing back to them and say, hey, all these women have so many good options. A lot of the men that I meet, they're so successful, they make so much money. Why do I not meet so many women that are doing this? The reality is it's because a lot more men feel this sense of identity failure if they can't do that. I can't keep reiterating this point that I think a lot of women really truthfully forget what the average woman looks like if you took off all of those extra things that make her look so good. What you're implying when you say men have more options than women, and then your whole basis for them having more options is that women are prettier than men, is the only thing that really makes somebody have a lot of options in dating is who's got the more attractive side. Because the reality is most men's issues with dating right now has never been that they couldn't find an attractive partner. It has just been that we feel like they're not getting anything in return. Most men, their complaints have never been like, oh my God, there's no attractive women out there. What their complaint is, oh my God, like I asked her to do this and she called me sassy. I always have to text her first to schedule plans. She wants me to work a job where I work 80 hours a week and she doesn't want to work at all. Like, I don't know what to do. That has been the majority of most men's complaints. None of them are complaining that they don't have any attractive options. Because as a guy who gets his eyebrows done, I'm wearing colored contacts, I get spray tans. There's really not that much that you can do as a guy to go and fix your appearance without girls somehow getting into the threshold of thinking that it's too feminine. Because most of the time, these average men look exactly the same as the average women. You're just a little biased, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
Well, you know, Santiago, when you say that women are more misogynistic, it might not necessarily be true because that's how they feel about things. So they're just sharing their feelings. When it turns to action, then that's when they become misogynistic. You get what I'm saying? Like for women, it doesn't matter what they say because words to them really actually hold no weight. It's only because the men are powerful enough to do something about it that makes them misogynistic. So they can sit up and talk a bunch of nonsense, but to them, it doesn't matter because they can't do anything and it doesn't go anywhere. So work out that logic for me.
Women will learn a lot about a man in the early stages of dating based on how he responds to her expression of desire or her clean no. And a man will learn a lot about a woman in the early stages of dating based on how she responds to his generosity.
Do not give your boyfriend husband privileges. I know this is so controversial, but honestly, hear me out. Something I see way too often is a woman will move in with a guy. They're not married. And then she'll start cooking and cleaning for this guy. And then she'll start saying, why isn't he proposing? Why doesn't he want to marry me? I know this is so unpopular and yes, it's hard to hear. If a man already knows that you're treating him like a husband and all he has to do is be a boyfriend, why would he propose? And I know that there are exceptions, but most of the time, if a man knows that he doesn't even have to legally marry you and he's gonna get all of this access to you, he already can wake up and you're in his bed. He can come home from work,
and you're already there. He doesn't have to plan dates with you. He doesn't have to put in any effort. He doesn't have to prove that he wants you as his future wife, that he's going to take you seriously. Makes it a lot less likely that he's going to take you seriously in the long run. Sometimes women will say, well, then that's not real love. Okay, but it boils down to self-respect. Men can literally sniff out if you have self-respect. If I don't know that you're willing to legally commit to me in marriage, why would I let you have a living situation with me? Why would I let you in my life that closely? That is a sign of self-respect to say, like, you don't deserve this level of access to me when you have not even committed to me. I know that makes people so mad, but I'm genuinely just telling you how to date smarter. Don't give a man the perks of being your husband, but he's not your husband.
A kind of sad reality is that if you're trying to meet women or men in a bar and you go up to them and immediately shoot your shot, their decision is basically going to be based entirely on attraction. So if you think someone is a little bit out of your league or a little bit standoffish, I think this is what you should do instead. A lot of women will say no if you immediately hit on them because they're not there to do anything other than have fun. So instead of hitting on them, be a source of fun. In some ways, I've seen guys do this when my friends and I didn't really want to talk to men in the first place, but it was successful. First one, don't offer to buy them a drink immediately. Make a bet. Maybe it's that you'll beat them at pool. You'll beat them at darts. Or even better, something completely stupid. Legitimately something like, I bet I can blow this straw wrapper farther on the table than you. Second one, and this works better if you come up with a group. Come up and say, we have this problem, we're looking for advice, and we need a woman's perspective. It should be something not related to your romantic advice. It can be your friends, but something specific and juicy. A lot of women love to hear gossip and love to give advice. The key to both of these things is that whether they say yes initially is based off of whether they think it's going to be fun, not whether they're attracted to you. And they'll spend more time with you while doing that activity, and so then their decision, if you maybe ask them for their number later, will be based on not just your looks, your personality too, because now they have context about maybe you're funny, maybe you're nice, and if they say no, maybe you had fun too. This is why I say the stupider the better. It's more memorable.
If a man can't spend $75 or $100 on a first date, he just shouldn't be dating. If a man wants to take you on a walk or go for coffee on the first date, say no thanks and move on. And what do women commonly do to get ready for a first date, especially? New outfit, nails done, hair done, maybe buy some new makeup or perfume or jewelry. Jesse, it's not about the money. On the first few dates, it is. On every date moving forward, it is. When I was in my mid-20s, I think I was 25, a guy wanted to take me to the dog park for our first date because we both had dogs. I said, I'm not going to the dog park on our first date.
Men listen to this and then you wonder why they are just done with dating. Because why does he have to go all out on the first date when the purpose of the first date is to see if you even like each other? And for me personally, as the woman, I never put in much effort into the first date. Meaning my hair and makeup was the same that I had already done for the day. And the new dress in my closet, I didn't wear that until date number 5 or 6 that my fiance took me on. That was the expensive dinner date. And we threw some axes. My honest opinion is that women that demand these things on the first date, there's a reason for it. And unfortunately, it's because she doesn't typically make it to the second, third, fourth date. So she's feeling a certain way about never receiving these nice things from a man. But that is not the next guy's fault for the guy before him to not like you enough to continue dating you. And it's honestly a red flag, complete turn off if you catch an attitude with a man just because he's asking you what you want to do on the date because you didn't like his first idea.
Guys, real question. Do y'all genuinely like women that don't like you? Do y'all like when a woman is mean to y'all? Or do some of y'all be tender and like to be liked back? I'm confused. I promise you, any man that I've dealt with, it's like they like me better when I don't want them. And then they be wanting me. But when I want them back, then no. Or do they just not like somebody who likes them more? I don't know. But when I'm an asshole, they be going. When I care, they run. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, how long do you play that game? How long do you play hard to get or like act like you don't like somebody even if you really do? Or do y'all even still not really like want them? You're just gonna keep chasing them for fun, but you're never gonna want them. Does any of that make sense? I don't know.
Honestly, it sounds like you're messing around with the wrong man and you know that you are. But you're going to keep on doing it because it's some sort of adrenaline rush to you.
Unfortunately, you could be literally the hottest to roam this earth
Face card, absolutely lethal. Body T, amazing personality, literally so funny, so smart, like the entire package. And men can still have and will have the audacity to play you to your face. And you have the potential to get played. So just tread carefully, okay? Because men, like a lot, if you are the entire package, men will try to experience you, okay? Not to get to know you because, like, they want you and everything, okay? Just be careful. Tread carefully. Just tread carefully, okay? Tread carefully. That's it. Tread carefully, please.
It's crazy what these modern women consider to be smart and beautiful. And men consider that the opposite thing that they actually want.
Lately, men on dating apps have been just giving me the ick. Because the last 2 people I've been talking to on dating apps have gone nowhere. Like, the conversation was good for like 2-3 days. But the first one said they were looking for a long-term partner relationship. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, that. Then he tells me, I just got out of a bad relationship. I'm just more looking for a hookup. So I was like, oh, I'm not your girls. I'll see you. Bye. The second one gave me a red flag because they had no social media. And I don't know anyone that does not have like Facebook or Instagram. This morning he messaged me good morning and I was like, oh, good morning. How's your day going? And he says, my massage got canceled. I'm like, oh, that's sad. And he goes, are you good at doing massages? I was like, hell no, bye. But ta-ta. See ya. Enjoy life. This is dating in your 30s. See you guys. Bye.
I regret ever divorcing my husband. 5 years ago, after my mother passed away from cancer, she left me with a peace lily symbolizing her love and memories. I had never been good at caring for plants, yet somehow, that peace lily thrived under my watch. It became a source of pride for me. Recently, I was having an argument with my son about a party he wanted to go to. Things got heated, as he told me that his dad, my ex-husband, would have let him go to the party. I told him I didn't want to hear about his dad, but he interrupted to say something that flipped my world upside down. He said, you know, Dad always took care of the plant, right? He'd buy a new one whenever it died, which happened a lot. He'd make sure it was always healthy for you, and after you divorced him, he made me promise to keep it alive for you. After my son told me this, I couldn't stop thinking about the countless little gestures my ex-husband always did for me. Every night before bed, I would find a cup of hot tea waiting for me by the bedside. In the morning, our paper was left on the table, and there was always freshly brewed coffee waiting for me. My home felt warm and alive, filled with his quiet acts of love. I felt the absence of it all and it killed me. I couldn't stop feeling regret as I realized I had divorced him in search of something new, overlooking the love he gave me. I decided to call him up and invite him out for lunch, and I wanted to see if maybe he was willing to give it another try. Only when we sat down for lunch, I asked him how things were and he told me that everything was amazing, and he was now with someone new. He thanked me for ending things between us, as he felt unsupported as well, and was glad we could both find our own happiness now and move on.
W's in the chat.
So y'all know that video that's trending about regretting getting a divorce because you was bored? Baby, I'm about to be the new bitch. I'm gonna be home, bored with routine. I'm gonna be spoiled. I'm gonna be pampered. I'm gonna be cooking, cleaning. Girl, I'm gonna live the Cinderella life, whatever the hell you wanna call it. I can't wait to be bored. So thank you to the ex that divorced my man.
Bro, I look so crazy, but it's so real. Why did my dad, knowing I told him that my money's mad fight and I needed to do today, he's like, yeah, you can pick up the car, right? I'm picking up the car. Why the car doesn't turn on? Like, look. And he told me not to call him or text him because his wife's a bitch. And now I'm stuck. And the Uber was $40.
I downloaded Hinge last night for the first time in, it's been like 8 months. I was Hinge free. I was sober for about 8 months. And I downloaded it like 3 hours into my shift because it was a little bit of like a chill night. And I spoke about it with my coworker and I was getting to do it. Like, I think I'm ready. A lot of my good friends met their now spouses on Hinge. So I believe it works for some people, but I'm telling you that the creatures crawled back in. They all crawled back in. They crawled in very quickly. And there's got to be more to it. And if you work for Hinge, if you are Hinge, you need to help us out. Like, there is a national epidemic of wonderful single girls out there who deserve a better algorithm, and we deserve to get it for free, because I'm not paying for that. Honestly, I will be single for the rest of my life before I upgrade Hinge, because they're for us. This cannot be.
I see where you're going with this, but you guys aren't as wonderful as you think you are.
Then it started going downhill when y'all allowed them to call y'all fine. I said it. There I said it. It used to be drop dead gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, all the above. We have fallen from grace. We are losing tradition. How did we get here?
What are we doing? Getting scolded. Getting scolded by the likes of you is real rich. Men can't say anything anymore, and they get scolded by everybody. At this point, it's just comical.
I've said it before and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. If you haven't been on a date with a mother who has ADHD, you are missing the out. I have really bad social anxiety, so I never know what to say on a first date because I get like really nervous. I went on a date with a guy who had really bad ADHD. Actually, not really bad ADHD, really good ADHD. He did not shut the fuck, because something about people with ADHD, they just know what to say at all times because their mind's going a million miles an hour. So they're like this, never run out of things to talk about. Oh my God, it is a social anxiety queen's dream to go on a date with a Muzz ADHD. I'm gonna start putting it in dating apps, being like, hey, if you have ADHD, like, hit me up for sure.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy first treats you how he wants to be treated, and then he treats you based on how you treat him? I need answers, please.
Man, you are so gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
I see you walking with every type of shit, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
My name is Mark.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Are you married or something?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
You had to be. You so fucking gorgeous.
Thank
man.
you. Thank
Of
you.
course, you had to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Man, no bullshit. Man.
Thank you.
It's all great.
Have a good day.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right,
Thank you.
All right.
And y'all want to know the comments to Mark's approach? BLE says, crying. Cause baby, I surely do lie to get them out of my face. Cause Shay says having to be fake nice to them is so exhausting. Yamil says, LMAO, I be eating it up. Cause yeah, you see this material, but I don't want your number, sir. Mimi, the creator, responded, this, especially because I thought I looked a mess this day. You'll never get the number though. Sensational Spa says, LOL, this was literally me yesterday. Oh my God. Been single for 2 years. Bridget B's Housekeeping says, I love you captured this because this be real. If you bombard me like this, yes, I'm married. Why don't men approach? Why don't they approach?
I'm going to teach you how to ask people out in public and then how to escape if they say no. So I am not a huge fan of dating apps. I've been on and off of them for years like everybody else, but recently I've started asking people out in public and it's gone surprisingly well. So I'm going to give you my tips and tricks. Basically, the way that I approach this is I always make sure that I give the other person an out. I actually give them 2 different outs so that they don't feel pressured into saying yes to me. And it's just a very organic, very flattering interaction. So what I do when I approach is I start by saying, genuinely no hard feelings if not. So that's an out. It lets them know that they can, refuse my advances and I'm going to be okay with it. So genuinely no hard feelings if not, but then insert a compliment. So I'm pretty direct. I usually say, but I think you're really handsome, or I think you're really beautiful, or I think you're really attractive, or you caught my eye, or whatever it may be. So insert compliment, and then ask them if you can give them your number. So it looks something like this. Hey, genuinely no hard feelings if not, but I think you're really handsome, and I was wondering if I could give you my number. That's it, because that's your second out. Giving your number means that they are not put on the spot. So even if they panic and say yes when they don't mean to, they never have to reach out to you. And then you know that that's a no. And you can just move on with your life. So that's the way I do it. And then this person's asking what the exit strategy is if you get refused. So if somebody says, you know, hey, no thanks, or hey, I'm not single, or whatever else it may be, all you have to do is say, you know what, no worries, I really appreciate it. You never know if you don't try. And then leave. Just be very honest. People will still be flattered if you are respectful and you are willing to take whatever answer they give you. So again, the exit strategy, you know, you ask somebody out, hey, can I give you my number? And they say, no, I have a girlfriend, or no, I have a boyfriend. Then you say, hey, no worries. You never know if you don't ask. I appreciate it anyway. That's it. It's easy. It's harmless. Okay, go try it and let me know.
Honestly, I don't see a whole lot wrong with this advice, except the fact that you were saying the man, and I'm assuming you're talking about the man in some sense, well, women too, but a man giving his number out to a woman. The woman will run to TikTok talking about, oh, how dare he try to give me his number? It's giving he wants to be chased. Just say you're sassy. Men want to be the princesses now. They want to be the passenger princess. They want so hard to be the woman. Where are all the boys? Where are all the men who going to be the boys, or whatever they say nowadays?
The best way to compliment a woman is don't. A lot of men are walking around just like handing out free compliments like it's candy on Halloween. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Sarah, you are really going to kill my game here. But here's the thing. Most beautiful women are very used to getting compliments, especially on their looks. So here is the question that you need to ask yourself before you are pouring it on thick with a woman that you are interested in. If you are complimenting a woman and you are expecting it to do something, or to gain you favor, or to get affirmation, or to make her seem more interested in you because you are love bombing or coming on so strong, that is actually the wrong way to compliment a woman. I will see men give compliments in search for validation. So they are trying to see if she is receptive to that compliment, and it comes across as disingenuous. You want to have a conversation that builds connection from a place of being genuine. So the question you need to ask yourself is, am I complimenting this woman to actually be potentially a little manipulative, to give her attention and validation that she will like me back? Or am I giving the compliment to form a deeper connection with this woman? And no, I am not overthinking this based on my own personal anecdotal experience and coaching hundreds of men in the dating process.
Number one mistake nice guys make with hot girls. As a dating coach for men for nearly 10 years now, I've witnessed no less than 1,000 interactions between men and women. Across the board, there's one mistake in particular that I see so many men make. No, it's not having boring conversations, although that is definitely a big problem I see. It's actually something that most men aren't even aware they're doing. And it goes something like this. Hi there, I'm Joe. How's your day going? This is what I call your customer service tone. Excellent for your career, terrible for your chemistry. Watch this instead. Hey there, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. How's your day going? Low, slow, and masculine. Want to know the 10 other most common mistakes men make when interacting with hot girls? Comment mistake below and I'll send you the list.
This is embarrassing. What time is it? What time is it? 12:44 and you're laying in bed? Go to work. Do something. Go build something. That's an ick right there. I walked in and you're just laying in bed, like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory's grandpa. Get up. Get up. Get on your Zoom. I'm about to Zoom over there. Get that.
Let this be a reminder, men, that there are women out there that will always and forever have a problem with a man relaxing. Because a man could work 10 hours, he could remodel a bathroom, he could build a deck, all in a day, and that still could not justify that man sitting down to relax. These men, they know their own work ethic, so when you come at them with your opinions, they don't care. That man doesn't care. He's literally laughing at his wife having a crash out and then records it and posts it. I normally say you shouldn't post these sorts of real relationship dynamics on social media, but I gotta make an exception for this one.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy first treats you how he wants to be treated, and then he treats you based on how you treat him? I need answers, please.
After 27 years of marriage, I found a message thread she forgot to delete on her Facebook. It was with a man she slept with 3 months after our wedding. When I confronted her, she said, "That was so long ago. Why ruin everything now?" I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just packed a bag and left. 2 weeks later, she was sitting with our kids, trying to explain why dad didn't come home. Update 2. Who's Alan Westmore? Her face changed instantly. The color drained away. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. How do you left Facebook open? I saw everything. Nancy. The lake house, 3 months after our wedding, when you supposedly went to visit your sister. She sat down heavily on the chair across from the bed. For a moment she looked like she might deny it, but then her shoulders slumped. Frank, that was so long ago. Why ruin everything now? Not I'm sorry, not I made a terrible mistake, but why ruin everything now? Like I was the one doing the destroying. Did you sleep with him tonight? Is that where you really were? I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. Her eyes widened in shock. What? No. Book club. Like I said, she insisted. I never since then. I never. I saw he asked you to dinner next month. I said I couldn't. I told him no, but it doesn't change what happened back then. Silence, the kind that fills a room, gets in your lungs. Why, Nancy, 3 months in, we were happy, weren't we? She still wouldn't look at me. It was stupid. I was young, scared by how permanent everything suddenly felt. He was from before, from college. It didn't mean anything. 3 days, Nancy. You spent 3 days with him, and then I came home. I chose you, Frank. I've chosen you every day for 27 years since then. Did you, or did you just stay because it was easier? She started crying then, big heaving sobs, told me she loved me, that it was one mistake in an otherwise faithful marriage, that she'd spent 27 years making up for it. I just felt empty. All those years, all those moments I thought were pure, our first apartment, the birth of our kids, family vacations, Sunday mornings making pancakes, all of it now filtered through this new knowledge. While I was building a life with her, she was carrying this secret, and who knows what others were there. Others, Nancy. No, God no. Just that one time. Please, Frank, we can work through this. We can go to counseling, but all I could think about was that message when you said you were going to leave him then. She had considered leaving me 3 months in, for him. I didn't yell, I didn't throw things. I just got up, went to the closet, and pulled out my old military duffel, started putting clothes in it. What are you doing? Her voice was small, frightened. I need some time to think. Frank, please, it was 27 years ago. We have a life together, kids, memories, don't throw that away over one mistake. I zipped the bag closed, and looked at her, really looked at her. You already did that, Nancy. 27 years ago. I walked out, drove around for hours, ended up at a motel off the highway, sat on the edge of the bed, with my head in my hands until dawn broke. Called in sick to work the next day, and the day after. On the 3rd day, I found a short-term rental apartment, signed a 6-month lease. Not sure what I'll do after that. The kids started calling almost immediately. Nancy had told them we were taking a break, that we'd had a disagreement. I couldn't bear to tell them the truth. Not yet, so I said the same, just need some time apart, some space to think. My oldest, Mark, knew there was more to it. Dad, what's really going on? Mom's a mess, and you've never spent a night away from home in my entire life. I almost told him, but then I thought about how it would change his perception of his mother forever. I wasn't ready to do that. Not until I figured out what I was doing myself. 2 weeks passed. I went through the motions at work, came back to my empty apartment, stared at the walls. Nancy called and texted constantly, begging me to come home, to talk, to give her a chance to make it right. How do you make right a lie that's lasted 27 years? Yesterday, our youngest Emma, called in tears. She'd come home from college for the weekend, expecting everything to be normal. Instead, she found her mother unable to function. Her father gone. Dad, Mom's sitting us all down tonight to explain what's happening. Says she needs to tell us the truth. I'm scared. What's going on? I closed my eyes, pictured them all sitting in our living room. Nancy trying to explain. The kids confused, hurt. It should be me there too. Whatever happens, we should face it together as parents, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't sit there and watch her try to minimize what she'd done. Or worse, see my children look at me with pity. The poor fool who didn't know for 27 years. Now you can watch the 3rd part, by pressing share and more.
Now, as you can see, when a woman does something like this, all of a sudden, you got to minimize it. Oh, it wasn't that bad. I felt like this is what was going on during the time. Oh my God, I can't lose you. Why would you throw all of this away? 26 years. But all of a sudden, when they're not happy and they're ready to leave, then we got to get up out of there. We got to get up out of there soon. Make sure you have a separate account so we can never take advantage of you, and the whole 9 yards.
Well. I just came across a video that Tia Mowry is back with Corey. She found out that single life wasn't for her. she found out that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. Now, when a woman leaves a man because she's unhappy, us women applaud that. But when a man leave a woman for the very same reason, us women say he have a problem with commitment. No, if that man is unhappy, he's unhappy and he left her ass. What Tia did was she saw that single life wasn't for her. She saw she wanted her husband back, when all they had to do was work on their marriage in the first place. All that uproar she posted to TikTok every day, looking happy, knowing goddamn well she was miserable as hell without her husband.